Hello everyone, my name is Prudence and this is Annika. And our special guest today is my beautiful dog Bernie. We have her joining our practice today as dogs, animals in general, inherently are quite calming to our own nervous systems. They bring us a lot of happiness and joy. And then further to that, practicing yoga with dogs is good for the dogs themselves. They tap into our energy, our prana. It allows their breath to deepen, their anxieties to soften. So such a beautiful practice we can share with our animals in this time we are currently in. We are doing a restorative yoga practice today, followed by a yoga nidra. So for the restorative practice, you will need all of the props, all of the things. Pillows, blankets, bolsters, blocks. Just recruit a whole heap of things you have around your house that you think will help, because with restorative yoga, the more props we have, the better. Today's practice is going to be centered around the heart and a little bit of opening through the shoulders. Our heart is very delicate. It is working with prana vayu, so a very particular energy sensation. And we want to treat our heart like a delicate flower. We want to hold it gently and we never want to over exaggerate the motion, especially in restorative yoga. So feel free to pad the movements and take a step back whenever you need. And that is all I'll say before we begin. Okay, now that you have whatever you need ready and set up, if you do have any blockages through the nostrils or the nose, take a moment, pause the video, blow your nose and come back, as we're going to be practicing alternate nostril breathing to begin. We're doing this in order to calm our nervous system and just to bring a little bit of even flow within the body and mind. We'll be doing 2 mudras with the hand. The first one is chin mudra for focus. So with your left hand, you want your thumb and first finger to touch. Extend the arm and then rest the back of the hand or the wrist on your knee. And then with our right hand, we'll be using Vishnu mudra. So our pointer finger and our middle finger will bend in and then the rest are long. So just have that prepared and ready. Make sure you're comfortable. Elevate your hips with a pillow, a block, anything you need to begin. Make sure that your sit bones feel comfortable, feel sturdy on the earth. Make sure your spine is long and straight. And then take a moment to just notice the breath. The natural breath rhythm. Maybe become aware of where it's showing up within the body, how it's responding. And if you're noticing it a little bit more up in your chest in this moment, take a moment to feel it delve into the depths of your belly. So the inhale expands the belly, the exhale softens. And then once you feel ready or steady with your current natural breath rhythm, bring your right hand to your face and place your right thumb and your right thumb on your right nostril, your right ring finger on your left nostril. Just place it there. Don't place any pressure. We'll take an inhale through both nostrils together. Exhale through both nostrils. Close off the right nostril. Take a delicate, slow inhale through the left. Block the left nostril. Release right, exhale through right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Making sure that as you move through your Nadi Shodhana, that the breath rate is even. Make sure it is steady. And be mindful not to feel any constriction through the throat. The throat is open and clear so that air can flow freely through the nostrils. And as you continue with this practice, notice the air as it enters each nostril and exits, how it feels. One side might be a little bit more blocked than in the other, and you may need to gently coax air through it. It might take a little bit more time, that's okay. And if at any time the physical gesture, so using your hand to block the nostrils, becomes a little uncomfortable, you can remove the hand and practice mental Nadi Shodhana. So you use your concentration to direct the breath to the nostril that you'd like. Make sure your belly is soft. Notice the slow, steady rhythms of the practice. And when we practice Nadi Shodhana, we are interacting with both Ida and Pingala. So the two sides of our energy stream in the body. The sun and moon is what they represent. And we do this to bring these sides of ourselves into balance. And this is the best pranayama practice to do in order to balance out the whole system. To calm yourself down and check in with prana. 3 more rounds by yourself. As you next breathe out through your left nostril, complete the practice. No need to rush, take your time. And return your right hand down. You might like to take chin mudra with your right hand too now. And pause for a moment, notice how the breath is interacting with the body now. Maybe notice if anything has shifted or changed. As we've allowed our nervous system just a little bit of time to calm, to come into balance. And so that we can really enjoy and unravel into our restorative practice today. Gently tuck your chin to your chest. Bring your hands together and start to rub them together slightly. Feel a warmth beneath your palms. And then cup over the eyes so that you can gently blink the eyes open. Remove the hands. Hello. Okay, let's start in our first pose for the day. We're going to come into what is called supported fish. I'm going to offer a few different variations. The first one I'm going to offer is the strongest variation. And I'm going to show this only if you know that your heart is very open. We're going to use 2 blocks for this variation. Do you want to demonstrate this one? Yes? Okay, so Annika, if you want to come and lie on your back, we'll demonstrate with the blocks and then we'll bring the bolster in.
Cool.
So we'll place 2 blocks. One block will rest just beneath her shoulder blades. So you can see here it's resting just behind. And then the other is going to rest beneath her head. Now, the lower the blocks, the less sensation you'll feel. So today we're going to go on the lowest block setting for Annika because it is restorative. So come to lie black, rest there. Does that feel right for you?
Yeah.
And then rest your head back. Do you want it a little bit higher on the head?
No, that's good.
That's good. Mm-hmm. Okay, and then we can bring our feet together and our knees wide in Supta Baddha Konasana. So this is option 1. Bernie is being very helpful here. This is quite strong and can be very, very sticky on the joints. Option 2 is removing the block and using a bolster instead. So bring your knees together gently, find your way up. And we'll replace the block with a bolster. Now, I suggest this more than the block, even if you are quite open, just because it's quite soothing and calming to the spine. Is that setting for the block good for you too?
Yeah.
Yep. And then again, she can bring her feet together, knees wide. She can have her legs long if she likes, or she can bring her knees together and her feet wide, especially if you're feeling a little bit more vulnerable through the lower belly or the groin. At the moment as well, you might be feeling a little bit more insecure, a lot more feelings. So sometimes to have the knees together, we're protecting through that base element of our bodies. How does that feel? Good. We're going to leave Annika here because she's quite comfortable. Another option as well, if this is too much, is to grab a blanket and just simply roll the blanket. And so it's not as big as the bolster, and place it exactly where Annika has the bolster currently. You can also place a blanket underneath your hips for a little bit of extra elevation and cushioning. And if you're cold, you can put a blanket on top of you as well. Many, many different options. The goal here is for you to feel comfortable. Are you comfortable? Yes. And so settling in. Once you've arrived, let's just take a big belly breath together. So inhale, feel the belly expand. Exhale steadily. In these first few moments, in this first pose, notice where you can feel energy, prana within the body. Does that energy feel steady or overwhelming? And as you can see with Annika's chest, it's quite elevated and open. So when we're in this state, this position, sometimes that openness can start to reveal a lot of physical sensation as well as emotional sensation. And if you're feeling a little unsteady, or uncomfortable, a nice way to focus or to feel grounded here is to notice your hips on the earth. Feel the hips ground. Feel them be supported by the earth that is beneath you. So from a physical perspective, this pose stretches the intercostal muscles between the ribs, expands the muscles of the chest, shoulders, abdominals, and neck. It can also stretch and stimulate the organs of the belly and the throat. It helps us to improve posture. It can also help to reduce anxiety and release pressure that you might feel through your chest. If at any point in this pose you start to feel uncomfortable, or if your fingers feel tingly or numb, then that is a sign that it's a little bit too deep. And so when we feel that sign, that physical notification within our body, we take note of it, we don't ignore it, and we pull back. Remembering that this part of our body is a delicate flower that needs to blossom slowly. Blossom with care, consideration, and most of all, kindness. If you notice any shifts or changes in your breath that cause for the breath to be a little bit shorter or sharper, first try to cultivate more depth in the breath through your belly. And if that doesn't work again, it's another sign that the pose is too deep, and that we need to pull back and honor the body. And there may be a lot of different feelings accumulating in this moment. Maybe grief, maybe a feeling of loss of how life once was. And all these different swells of emotion are being unearthed. And so let's be gentle with ourselves as we allow the necessary healing to unfold. No need to force that healing. Allow it to occur in its own time. Sit. One more minute of expansion through heart here. Maybe notice if there is anywhere in the body that you are still holding on to tension, that you aren't allowing to unravel. And with every exhale, coax it gently to soften. Okay, let's find our way slowly out of this pose. If your knees are wide, place your hands beneath one knee at a time and draw them together. If your knees are long, slowly bend your knees and place your feet to the earth. And bring your right hand slowly across the body. And with your left hand, start to roll towards the left hand with the body so that your right hand will then come to the earth. Yeah, nice and gentle. Your head might still stay on the block. Good. And then from here, as you feel comfortable, when you feel ready, no rush, press your right hand into the earth to bring you up to a seat. Nice and gentle. Take your time. And then take a moment, maybe find a seat. Just notice the effects of the posture. What you might feel strongly at the heart. And as you sit here processing those feelings, a nice little adjustment to make is to draw your head slightly back in space and gently tuck your chin to the chest to find a Jalandhara Bandha bind so that prana of the heart doesn't extend beyond the head. It stays flowing within the body. And then when you are ready, we will come into our next posture, which is open wing. So we will be lying on our belly for this, but before we go into this posture, I want to be very clear that it can be something that is very extreme through the chest. So if you know you have quite stiff shoulders, I'm going to offer a modification with the wall later. If you are pregnant as well, please wait for the wall modification, as it will be not nice for bub to be lying on the belly in this posture, and it is a bit of a twist. Okay, so Bernie, if you don't mind. All right, we'll move the props out of the way for Annika.
So it's just about you.
I think she was barking at the ice cream truck. She wanted ice cream, me too.
Me too.
All right, so let's lie on our bellies.
I should face this way, okay? Yeah.
Either way, yeah.
Okay.
And then I'd like Annika to extend her right arm wide, nice and wide, and then bring her left arm into a chicken wing. Good. And forehead to the earth. Now we will have a block nearby, as the block with the posture is also quite helpful. Start by bending your left knee. Good. And then press a little bit into your left hand. And then maybe you lift the left knee and allow the foot to gently fall across the body. Nice. And maybe it taps to the earth. Or maybe you can even keep the leg long if it feels more comfortable. Now, a really gentle support here is to place this block beneath the head. So if you'd like to just slightly lift. And that might feel a little bit more comfortable in the pose. Is that okay for you? Mm-hmm. Awesome. Be super delicate with this opening. It's quite strong. It does get into the center of the spine as well as through the front of the body. And take your time. Notice your breath here. When you first come into this pose, sometimes it does feel a little bit constricting. If you are taking the modification, you will come to the wall and you will simply stand facing the wall, open your right arm wide, and then slowly open your body away from the wall. Nice and simple, no drama, just allowing that gentle stretch. And this is a good opening for the pectoral muscles and the inside of the arms. It helps to stimulate the heart meridian. And it also gently stretches the inner thigh of the top leg, so your left leg currently. And again, if you feel any tingling in hands or fingers, adjust the posture. It means you've gone too far. And be delicate with the breath here. Feel the breath filling from the lower belly all the way up into the chest. We'll be here for about 3 more minutes, so not a super long hold for this one, as we want to be gentle with the body here. And if you do feel like you want a little bit more depth, you can create a bind with the top hand, so the left hand, by wrapping it around the back of your spine. Yeah. And if you feel super, super, super open, which Annika, you do not have to do, you can reach the left hand to tap the top of the right hand. But if you are exploring this one, be very mindful. It can be very finicky on the shoulders. So only if you're very sure that you're open enough. And if at any point the breath starts to constrict or you feel like you're teetering over an edge, pull it back. And we want to find a point here in this practice where we feel held, where we feel comfortable. If you start to feel as though the earth is falling away beneath you and that you've lost control of the energy or the feeling within your body, then that's a sign that this posture has taken itself to a depth that you're not quite ready for. And so gently coax your way back and find that point that feels inviting, comfortable, as if your body is returning home again. 1 more minute. Another really lovely thing to do in this posture as well to lessen the intensity, which I should have mentioned before, is to have the left foot in front of the right leg instead of behind. So if you're noticing that right now the intensity is quite extreme, you can place that left foot just in front of the right leg instead of behind. Then as you next exhale, start to unravel. So that left hand finds its way back to the earth as a support first. And then you feel the hips shift over until they're lying on the belly again. Take your time. Be delicate. You can move the block out of the way. Create a little pillow with your hands and just rest your forehead. Let's take 5 full belly breaths. And sometimes the afterwave effect of a posture can be more strong than the posture itself. So honor that. Feel into that. And then we'll start to find our way into the opposite side. So left arm opens wide, right arm is a little chicken wing, forehead to the earth. And then bend at the right knee. And just delicately feel the right foot find its way to the earth behind. And that right hand is the support network. So keep the pressure, and yeah, you can adjust the hand so it's beside the face a little bit closer if you'd like. Maybe the toes touch the ground or the full flat foot. You can also extend the leg long as well if that feels more comfortable for you. And as I said earlier, if this feels too intense, that right foot can rest in front. The right foot can rest in front of the leg. Yes, that's your right foot. So finding that variation that feels best for you and settling in. Would you like the block under your head again?
Yes, please. Thanks, Grandma.
It's okay. And then at any point, if you want to take more depth or pull out a little bit, feel free to. For those of us on the wall, very easy transition, just the other way. It's not as fun to be standing, I know, but it does provide the same opening through the front of the shoulder head, the pectoral, and a little bit of heart opening too. If you are standing here, do be mindful of your posture. Maybe you're lucky like Annika and have a dog licking your fingers through the posture. And take a moment as you lie here to maybe notice, how can you be more fully embodied and fully present to your experiences? No matter what those experiences are, whether they are joyful, painful. A teacher of mine says we become a victim when we blame external circumstances. When we, in fact, have the basic equipment we need to achieve complete happiness. So whatever emotion, thought that might be plaguing your mind, know that that is not you. That is just a result of circumstances. And that when we are in our day-to-day, we can find those moments of joy, peace, by simply letting go of the wandering mind and finding our breath, finding our body again. 2 more minutes here. If you do start to notice any tingling or discomfort in your left arm, again, take it as a sign to withdraw a little bit from the posture, or maybe even come out completely. If your breath has become erratic, again, take a step back from the posture. These are all physical signs that we have induced a little bit of anxiety in the body. And that's the last thing we want to experience in our restorative practice. When you are ready, start to unravel. Take your time here. No need to rush. Keep the peace within the body. Don't cultivate any sudden movements. And then rest your forehead to the earth. Again, 5 deep breaths to notice the reverberation of the pose in the body. And the most beautiful thing about our restorative practice is it is a process of active relaxation, a reset. It gives us the opportunity to take a moment and bring the nervous system back into peace and calm. We'll start to prepare for our next pose, which is one of my absolute favorites, melting heart or anahatasana. Today we are going to use supports for our anahatasana. So if Annika wants to just come onto her hands and knees for me. We will be using our bolster. So whatever props you have around, if you have a couple of pillows, you can create a bolster, a blanket you can roll up, make it as nice and big as you can. And then place the bolster at the center of your mat. You'll have your knees on the earth. And then from here, we walk our hands forward, find our 4-point kneeling, and walk our hands out in front. And the chest, forehead will reach the bolster. Your heart will melt, your hips will stay high. So let's find this with the bolster. You can also use a dog as a prop if you'd like. And keep the hips high, the chest relaxes and releases on the bolster. And if it feels more comfortable to have forehead down rather than open, you can. How does that feel? Pardon? Okay. So Annika just said it's nice to have space for her nose so she can breathe. We're all different. We all like different things. So notice what feels best for you. There is no one size fits all. And you might feel that you need to build more props up to feel comfortable or build more props down, depending on how mobile you are through your upper spine, through your shoulders. And this pose expands through the chest and creates a soothing effect on the heart chakra, which can release blocked emotions and help us to feel free. And free from burdens that may be heavy on our heart. A nice way to end our asana physical part of the practice today. It helps to release tension from the mind. opens the chest, and is good for respiratory function. It helps to cultivate flexibility of the spine, improves posture. And the upper back and lower back receive a gentle stretch, as well as an expansion of shoulders and maybe some lovely dog kisses. The key here in this pose is to really melt into the heart. So to not allow it to overwhelm. Sometimes it helps to give just a little bit of an engagement in Muladhara Bandha, the lower belly, so that we can feel stability and support even though we're unraveling at the heart. And that's important for all heart expansion. If we are not grounded and supported, then the expansion within the heart can sometimes be extremely overwhelming. So make sure that you feel that grounding, that connection with the knees to the earth. And if your knees do feel a little bit uncomfortable on earth, please remember a blanket underneath the knees is always beautiful and helpful. And as you're here, I'd like to read to you a quote from Swami Satyananda Saraswati. And it's in regards to Yoga Nidra, which is what we are going to be doing after this pose. However, it's relevant to the art of restorative yoga. And it is about relaxation. Most people sleep without resolving their tensions. This is termed Nidra. Nidra means sleep, no matter what or why. But Yoga Nidra means sleep after throwing off the burdens. It is of a blissful, higher quality altogether. When awareness is separate and distinct from the vrittis, when waking, dream, and deep sleep pass like clouds, yet awareness of Atma remains. This is the experience of total relaxation. Relaxation does not mean sleep. Relaxation means to be blissfully happy. It has no end. I call bliss absolute relaxation. Sleep is a different matter. Sleep gives only mind and sense relaxation. Bliss relaxes the Atma, the inner self. That is why in Tantra, Yoga Nidra is the doorway to Samadhi, freedom. Grief cannot pierce the heart. The heart only knows love. It is the chatter of our mind, our wandering mind, that convinces us that we don't know joy or love anymore. So when we take the time to come back to our heart space, to cultivate prana, energy of the heart, expansion of the heart, we open the doorway to feel that love overwhelming the whole system. 5 more steady breaths here. As you feel ready, walk your hands beside your shoulders. Take your time and just gently press into the hands. And be slow, shift hips back to heels. And take a moment, child's pose. Again, notice how the body feels. Notice the reverberation of the posture. And then as soon as you feel ready, start to make your way into a shavasana position. So lying on your backs nice and comfy, whatever props you need. Maybe you'd like a bolster beneath the knees, a blanket, an eye pillow. Oh, got you. Bernie is already in shavasana. Okay. And we've got a nice little eye pillow here. And if you don't have an eye pillow, pretty sure Nin Yoga is still selling some.
Naomi is making some.
Naomi, the beautiful Naomi is making eye pillows. So a beautiful addition to your home practice. Take your time, allow yourself to get comfortable. And I will be reading a Yoga Nidra script that is also written by Swami Satyananda Saraswati. And it's a very traditional version of Yoga Nidra. And it is a beautiful practice which is very close to my heart. Make yourself as comfortable as possible. Keep your feet apart and let them flop a little sideways. Arms slightly away from the body, with the palms of your hands facing upwards. Adjust your blanket, clothes, and position so that you can practice without moving and with no physical discomfort. Close your eyes and keep them closed down. Yoga Nidra is the act of hearing and the act of feeling. These are the only important factors. In Yoga Nidra, you function on the level of awareness plus the level of listening. In dreams, you have no control. In Yoga Nidra, you are the creator of the dream. And give yourself some time to become calm and steady. Take a deep breath, and as you breathe in, feel calmness spreading throughout the body. As you breathe out, say to yourself mentally, relax. Become aware of the sounds in the distance. Become aware of the most distant sound that you can hear. Let your sense of hearing operate like a radar beam, searching out different sounds and following them for a few seconds. Move your attention from sound to sound without attempting to identify the source. Gradually bring your attention closer to sounds outside this building, and then to sounds inside the building. Now develop the awareness of the room you are currently in. Without opening your eyes, visualize the four walls, the ceiling, the floor, your body lying on the floor. See your body lying on the floor. Become aware of the existence of your physical body lying on the floor. Total awareness of your body lying in perfect stillness. Your body is lying on the floor. Develop your awareness of all the physical meeting points between your body and the floor. Become aware of the natural breath. Become aware of the deep, natural, spontaneous breath. Do not concentrate, for this will interfere with the natural process. Continue to listen to my voice guiding you. Know that you are breathing. The practice of Yoga Nidra begins now. Say to yourself mentally, I am going to practice Yoga Nidra. I will not sleep. I'm going to practice Yoga Nidra. And this is a time now to set an intention for this practice, or a sankalpa, as it is referred to. Please state your sankalpa clearly in your mind with feeling and awareness 3 times. We'll now journey into rotation of consciousness through the different centers of the body. The awareness will jump from point to point with my guidance. Repeat mentally the name of each part after me and simultaneously become aware of that part of the body. Right hand thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth, fifth, palm of the hand, back of the hand, wrist, lower arm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, waist, hip, right thigh, knee, calf muscle, ankle, heel, sole, top of the foot, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, left hand thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth, palm of the hand, back of the hand, wrist, lower arm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, waist, hip, left thigh, knee, calf muscle, ankle, heel, sole, top of the foot, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, right shoulder, left shoulder, right shoulder blade, left shoulder blade, right buttock, left buttock, the spine, the whole of the back together. Top of the head, forehead, right eyebrow, left eyebrow, eyebrow center, right eyelid, left eyelid, right eye, left eye, right ear, left ear, right cheek, left cheek, nose, tip of the nose, right nostril, left nostril, upper lip, lower lip, chin, jaw, throat, right collarbone, left collarbone, right chest, left chest, middle of the chest, navel, abdomen, lower abdomen, whole of the right leg, whole of the left leg, both legs together, whole of the right arm, whole of the left arm, both arms together, whole of the back, whole of the front, whole of the head together, legs, arms, back, front, head together, the whole of the body together, the whole of the body together, the whole of the body together. Develop homogeneous awareness of the whole body and become aware of the space occupied by the body. Become aware of the body and this space that is occupied by your body, body and space. Become aware of the whole body and the floor. The whole body in relation to the floor. And at the same time, become aware of the meeting points of the body and the floor. These are very subtle, physical points between body and floor. Feel the meeting points between the back of your head and the floor, shoulder blades and the floor, elbows and the floor, back of the hands and the floor, buttocks and the floor, calves and the floor, heels and the floor. Awareness of all the meeting points between the body and the floor, the sensation of all points simultaneously, evenly. Go on feeling these points clearly and distinctly. And please do not fall asleep. Continue to notice sensation. Now start to draw your attention to the natural ingoing and outgoing breath. Feel the breath moving along the passage between the navel and the throat. On inhalation, it rises from navel to throat. On exhalation, it descends from throat to navel. Be completely aware of respiration. Navel to throat, throat to navel. Do not try to force the breath, just awareness. Maintain your awareness of breath. Follow the rise and fall of your breath from navel to throat and back again. And total awareness of the breath. The breath is slow and relaxed. Withdraw your mind and concentrate on the space in front of your closed eyes. The space we call Chirakasha. Imagine before you a transparent screen through which you can see infinite space. A space that extends as far as the eyes can see. Concentrate on this dark space and become aware of any phenomena that manifests within it. Whatever you see is the manifesting state of your mind. Continue your awareness of this space, but do not become involved. Practice detached awareness only. Now imagine yourself in a park. It's early in the morning and the sun has not yet risen. The park is deserted except for yourself. It is a beautiful park, calm and peaceful. Walk across the springy grass, feel the consistency beneath your feet. Listen to the birds whistle and call as they welcome in the new day. There are gardens of flowers, beautiful roses, yellow, pink, red, purple. Smell their fragrance and see the early morning dewdrops on their petals. Near the garden is a fish pond. When you look inside the fish pond, you see goldfish swim in and out amongst the water lilies. See their graceful movements. You begin to walk between trees, beautiful trees, bare trees and trees with leaves, wide spreading trees and tall, stately trees. There is a clearing between the trees. And in that clearing is a small temple with an aura of light around it. You walk towards the temple, open the door and step inside. It is cool and dim. On the walls there are pictures of great saints. You sit down on the floor, close your eyes and become still. Very still. A sense of deep peace and harmony envelops you as the sounds outside fade into the distance. Continue your awareness of meditation inside the temple. Stay there for some time until peace and harmony pervade. Now gently bring your awareness back to Chitakasha. Bring your awareness to the dark space you see in front of your closed eyes. Watch the darkness that you see before you very carefully, with detachment. Do not become involved. Rest your mind in this warm and friendly darkness. If any subtle phenomena manifest, for example, colors or patterns, simply take note of these and continue with your awareness. If your thoughts come and go, continue watching the dark space. Continue this with detached awareness. Now remember the intention, your sankalpa that you set at the beginning of practice. Repeat this same sankalpa in the same words and with the same attitude, 3 times clearly with feeling and emphasis. Become aware of your breath. Become aware of your natural breathing, awareness of breath and awareness of relaxation. Develop awareness of your physical existence. Become aware of your arms and legs, your body lying stretched out on the floor. Become aware of meeting points between your body and the floor. Develop awareness of the room, walls, ceiling, noises in the room and noises outside. Take your mind out. Become completely external. Gently start to move your body. Feel awareness re-entering at the center of your heart and expanding outwards. Maybe you feel a little wiggle of toes or a stretch of the limbs. And take your time, there is no need to rush. And when you are sure that you are wide awake, find your way to a comfortable seat as the practice of Yoga Nidra is complete. Hari Om Tat Sat. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Hopefully I'll see you again soon in virtual reality. Thank you again for joining us for our restorative and Yoga Nidra practice. I hope everyone is doing well at home, is taking care of themselves and their fluffy friends. A big thank you from myself, Annika, Bernie, and Nin Yoga. See you next time.
See you.